up, everyone? Welcome to Humble Threads, a bi-weekly podcast that feels like you're hanging out with good friends, just talking about life and sharing relatable stories and interests. I might be your sick host, but I am David Graves.
And I'm Michael Hart.
All right, let's get humble, Mike.
Yo, what's going on in the world of Graves?
Guys, if you could probably hear, I am a little under the weather here. It is not the vid or Unicron, the Transformer. That's the variant of COVID. But it's just a little cold, seasonal cold. When it gets hot, cold outside, heat's blasting in houses. My sinuses get dried out, and it shuts down the whole shop. I think I'm coming on the end of this really, really soon, and I hope I am, because you take your nose for granted, people. Right when that joint gets stopped up, you give anything to have your nose back. But yeah, guys, so that's what I'm dealing with. But once again, 2 weeks flying by. It only feels like a week. It's so weird. But we had a lot going on. If you've been listening, you guys have known that this has been leading up to this. But I proposed to Ashley. We are officially engaged. It was a fun time. I'm just going to run through it with you and what I was thinking that day. I decided to be a nice boyfriend. I snore occasionally, if you didn't know. But I was like, you know what? I'll sleep in my futon where my PC room is, so I slept on this for her to give her a good night's rest, so she wasn't cranky, because Lord, was she cranky the day before. But got up, she went out with her sister. I'm cleaning up the house because people were coming over. Of course, I have to get her dog together. If you guys have dogs, you know how difficult that can be here and there, because they do what they want. They might cooperate, they might not, but she did amazing. I got everything together for her. I got dressed up. And then we went to the park. So the story for Ashley was my friend Brett, shout out to Brett, he's proposing. That was the story. And then we were going to go to the park and take pictures before. He was going to propose on quote-unquote Longwood Gardens. So we went there. I had Coda. I had to get this lead together. I put out a blanket. We had lanterns from her best friend Jackie. Shout out to her. And then I had to put a box up. And it was a whole elaborate thing. If you think about an outside proposal with a dog, it's what you're thinking. So we did that, and I had my friend Andrew come out. I'm shouting out a lot of people. Andrew, shout out to you. He came out, he took some photos. So I had to lie to Ashley. I messed up because I should have texted her before, but I didn't want her to start checking where I was because we share our locations. But I left and she came home, and then she said, "Where are you?" And I said, "Damn, I'm already driving." I was hoping I could get there before, she was coming in, but she was like, "Where are you?" I said, "Oh, Brett," I just gave her a call. I said, "Oh, Brett wants to go take pictures at this park before Longwood just so it's private and blah, blah." And, of course, she looks at my location. I was at her friend's house getting the lanterns. I don't know. But that didn't really throw her off too much. But I was just like, hey, just, come to the park. We're going to take pictures, etc. Leading up to this, she was stubborn as an ox to get her nails done. So she didn't get them done. So then she just painted them herself in a frantic flutter. But we got there, and I just waited for her for about an hour because she should have left within 30 minutes, but it was an hour. And even Mike can chime in on this because there was a frantic part that leads into this story. But.
So I'll just jump in real quick. So originally the plan was David did a really great job. He set up a lot of stuff. He had a private Facebook group with all of friends and family that were in on it and stuff like that. And originally the game plan was get to my house by 4:15, 4:20, because that's when we that won't be too long before we should be getting back.
Yep.
And then it's gonna be a big surprise party for Ashley with friends and family and everything. But we arrived on time. It was exactly 4:15. I felt good about it. There wasn't many cars in the lot, so I was like, are people here yet? Are we the first ones? I didn't really know. But we didn't have any contact from David at this point because the man's out in the park, waiting for it, his soon-to-be fiance to arrive, and so I start. Me and my wife are there, and my sister-in-law were there, and we get out of our cars, we start walking towards the door, and almost as if fate had our back. Melissa, Melissa's her sister. Her sister walks out and goes, get back in your cars. She's still inside. She doesn't know. And we're like, oh my God, and thank goodness she doesn't know what our cars look like. So we're like in the lot, like, and we like, we do the thing where we get in our car and just roll the seats back as if we're not really there. And thankfully, Melissa and Ashley finally get in the car and they leave. We get the coast is clear, heads up, and we're able to go inside and everything like that. But from that point on, I'm going to pass it back over to David to kind of talk about how it all went down in the moment.
Yeah, so that was a struggle because Mike was there, and apparently there was a lot of other people who were there. I was frantically texting everyone who I could, or I was putting in the group chat on Facebook or everything saying, she's running late, don't come in the house, just stay there. A lot of people were there. I was like, wait till 4:25. I was like, all right, wait second that. Wait till 4:30. They left at 4:15 exactly. So I said, all right, go in. That was hectic, but we finally got her to leave. Like I said, she painted her nails because she thought she had a funny feeling that something was going to happen. But she didn't want to get her hopes up because it's been 6 years, but, we were finally in a good spot where I can do this. But she finally gets in the car. She's quiet. Melissa's like, why are you so quiet? Like, what's going on? But she finally gets to the park. I'm waiting there with Coda, my friends, and everything. She starts walking down. No tears yet, no nothing. I think she really just thought we were taking photos. And then she comes down, she sees Coda, and I was standing in front of the sign. I moved. And the tears were flying, and I mean, the ugly cry was happening. If you guys want to go to my Instagram or the Humble Threads Instagram, we definitely will be posting them on there. You can see how the whole endeavor went down. But she came up, everyone was like, do you have a speech? I said, no, I don't really have a speech because I've said everything I could say to Ashley at this point. I did make a video prior to give to her later, which I did. But I literally just looked at her and told her, like I said, you was going to ruin your own proposal. I told you was going to ruin it. And she said, well, I didn't think. I said, you could have got your nails done. You was being difficult. You didn't want to do it. I said, but here we are. I said, it's been 6 years. It's been a long road, but we're finally here. Led us to this point. I just, told her I love you, etc., etc. Got on one knee, proposed, gave her the ring. She was happy. Still freezing cold. I hurried up and told my friends to leave quickly. So that way we could start getting, the stuff broken down. But I wanted everyone at my house before we got there because she had no idea that was happening. So I had to clean up a little bit. We started driving back to the house. Of course, this chick has 1,000 questions. Why weren't my friends here? Why wasn't this person here? I said, yo, just enjoy the car ride and look at that ring because it was enough money that I could have got us like 5 couches. So just look at the ring. But so we get to the house. I tried to tie Coda outside because we have a lead because there's too many people in there. She probably would have freaked out. Of course, I tell Ashley to wait. She doesn't wait. She opens the door, and by her surprise, a sea of people, which by my surprise, that was a lot of people. Very heartfelt to us because I said, holy crap, we do have a lot of people who, care about us, love us, and view us in a special manner to come enjoy this moment with us. It was a lot of people. I loved it. It was a shock to me. And then that's when the fun began. That's when I had to start cleaning up. A lot of gifts from everyone. Thank you for all the gifts. I tried to text everyone thank you. If not, hopefully listen to the podcast. And, I could say thank you that way. Maybe I'll give you a thank you card on Christmas and something. I don't know. But it was a pretty fun time. I was tired, but Mike, how was the party for you?
Yeah, I mean, party was great. It was awesome getting a chance to meet some of Ashley's family. Outside of just knowing Ashley and meeting her sister, I think once before at the cookout you had. It was just nice to get to know her side of the story, and all lovely people. Lots of fun kids just running around having a good time. Some of the best cupcakes I've had in a long time were there. Those cupcakes were absolutely insane. Like they were like, there was like a chocolate and a vanilla one, but like they had this like caramel kind of inside thing and like the confetti. Oh man, it was delicious. Really good food. I think you guys had like Italian food. Yeah, like Italian. There was like baked ziti, I think, and like meatball subs and going around. Just good friends, really, just good time, good people. I gotta say, since I was on the inside of the house, I got to witness Ashley's like sudden surprise that like every single person she loved in the world was in this room. And it was just such that amazing moment of, oh my goodness, oh, well, you're in my house. Like, what's going on? Because I remember the first thing I heard her say is like, why are the lights on? Oh my God.
Story of her life, man. But,
It was really, really good. Overall, just a really wonderful time getting to be there and help celebrate.
yeah, man. Like I said, thanks to everyone. Mike, thank you for coming. Mike is like damn near my brother now. You know, kids, if you're listening, that's just you know, there's two words that slipped, okay, but we're still PG. But you know, when I get emotional and I get heartfelt, sometimes and things slip out. But yeah, Mike, pretty much there, pretty much like my brother at this point. He's a part of the family. Everything we do, him and Carolyn are invited. Jamie feels like my sister at this point. We annoy each other enough to be like siblings. So that was a fun time, but we got that done. Thank God it's been over. You guys have heard this point, you know, brought up multiple times. Thank God she doesn't really listen to the podcast or would have ruined it. But it was a fun time. Thank you to all you guys. But right after that, full swing into Thanksgiving, man. You know, Thanksgiving at my house was a kind of a big thing. As we got older, it's a little different. A lot of us are spread out. So mine was pretty simple. I just went to my brother's. We drank a little bit. We ate. And I think we watched the Red Notice, the new Netflix movie with The Rock. Yeah, 7 out of 10. But it was a fun time. Me getting to hang out with my brother is always a good time. We always laugh, have fun, and just enjoy each other's company. I've never laughed so hard outside of being at his house. Like we're sitting there crying. But Mike, how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was really nice. Me and my wife spent it with my parents. They had some of like my dad is part of like a really big like golfing group that he kind of like hosts, I guess, himself. Like he's kind of like the main guy that gets all the golfing outings set up and stuff like that. I mean, he's retired. You know, what else is he gonna do other than like fix everything around the house and constantly ask me if he can come to my house to fix more things, which I love. You know, he's an amazing guy. But yeah, so I got to spend it over at my parents' house. Love going there specifically with our dogs. They have a really nice closed-in backyard. My dogs, it's like taking kids to Chuck E. Cheese. Like they just like go nuts. Like they love it. They're like running. They're like run up to us like, please, mom and dad, can we go outside? You know, and which is always great. But the meal was awesome. The bird was perfect. You know, everyone's always worried about is it going to be dry? Is it going to be, you know, not cooked, or is it overcooked or whatever? But it was perfect. My mom has. I said to the table, Mom, I can't remember a Thanksgiving where you didn't do the turkey like a service. It wasn't where it was a bad turkey. And she goes, well, I can think of a few years. And I was like, Mom, take a compliment.
I feel like that's all moms.
You know, yeah, of course. Always the perfectionist. Yeah. But everything was great. Hanging out with my dad's like golf buddy and his wife was really nice as well. Really nice people from down south North Carolina area. And but yeah, I mean, other than that, like, you know, just good food, good conversation, good times. Literally 2 days later, David and I, per usual, we usually find some way or shape or form to do something fun with a bunch of friends. We did a Friendsgiving at our friend Kevin or Nellie's house, who is our boy Kevin's girlfriend, and of course all of Nellie's roommates, Kristen and Maddie, were there as well. Really awesome people, but the whole gaming crew was there. I think minus Jamie, who is currently in Disney World during the time. Really great time. But we finally had the mashup between David and Billy, who Billy's been saying from day one that you can't have Thanksgiving without stuffing, and David's been like, nah, you can't have Thanksgiving without mac and cheese. But honestly, I think you know, our buddy Cam was there, and Cam kind of said something that I think kind of unified the situation a little bit. He goes, because David was like, you know, Cam, what's the one thing you look forward to when you go to Thanksgiving dinner? And he goes, it's mac and cheese. And then Billy was like, yeah, but what's more like traditional to a Thanksgiving like spread? And he kind of won me over. And it's like, well, whereas I definitely agree that mac and cheese is like super important. Like you don't really think, like the first thing you think about turkey, you're gonna think stuffing. Because like mac and cheese, personally, that's an all year, every time. You know, you can do mac and cheese for every meal if you wanted, or every occasion, because it's just a great thing. But you don't really have stuffing many other times during the year at all. And I think Cam kind of put it that way. It's like, you know, stuffing is far more traditional to Thanksgiving than mac and cheese is. even though he agreed that mac and cheese is the thing he looks out for the best. And we had our buddy Billy do stuffing. David brought some of the best mac and cheese I've had in a while. He put a little bit of like what was it, like a paprika or
smoked cayenne something. It was smoked paprika or something, but it was
got it. Yeah, well, it had a nice subtle kick to it. It wasn't like spicy, but it had like a nice kick. Something I haven't had in a mac and cheese in a while, but it was like the classic baked, like tons of cheese, elbow noodle mac and cheese. Really great time, and just awesome getting to hang out with our friends in a situation that wasn't like necessarily like a raging party kind of, which is what that kind of group is used to doing. It was just kind of like a kickback. We all had like a couple drinks, and it was just really nice to be able to sit around and just have just honest, good conversation with everybody without any kind of like expectation to get drunk or to have a party or to play beer pong. It was just a really nice humble time. What do you think, David?
Yeah, I definitely agree with Mike. It was definitely a fun time. It was a lot of people there. And one thing I do like that's cool is like some of my friend group is now starting to migrate into this friend group, which I've told them before, like, come hang out. We all play video games. The only thing that separates us is Discord and console, like chat. So a lot of people have been getting into the PCs and everything. A lot of them have been coming over and hanging out. But yeah, great time. The girls did an amazing job, so shout out to them. They had the table set up. They had place cards. The hot apple cider was good with a little extra something in it. That was very good. But getting to talk to everyone, the food, food was amazing. I was in a coma when I got home. Me and Coda were on the couch and I took a nap because I was exhausted, and that food was crazy. Everything was good. I gave Billy the benefit of the doubt. The stuffing with the sausage was good in it. The turkey roll up was, I kind of thought it was like an enchilada turkey roll up.
It kind of was,
yeah. If you think about it, it was pretty good. And that was really good. He at first was trying to doubt the mac and cheese because he was like, "Oh, I don't like it when it's like crispy on top." I said, "Crispy on top is the best part because when it's fresh out the oven, it's hot. That crispy isn't like you just get bang, a little bit of a crunch, a little bit of the kick." But eventually he came around. He said, "Dave, this mac and cheese is really good." And I told him that was my first time making it, but next time, look out for next time because this next time is about to be crazy. But real great time. Everyone's always great people. We have great conversations. I'm just happy like we can all get together. We can party or we can just have a sit down conversation. As we get older, sometimes I enjoy that more because partying's fun, but sometimes you're a little tired. I just want to sit down, maybe watch some YouTube videos, maybe listen to some music, drink, and have a nice time. But girls, great job. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you. I love you. Thanks for letting us come on over. And then immediately right after that, we had Ashley's birthday, which her and her sister are a day apart, I believe, or 2 days. Melissa's is the 30th and Ashley's is the 1st, so a day or whatever. So we went to the Tap House, I believe, in Westchester. The one that's on that weird office building. I think that's what it's called. I think it's Sedona. Yeah, I think it's
Sedona Tap House. Yeah, nice place.
Man, food was good. I got a a smoked old fashioned. They had the glass smoke. They poured. It was amazing. We had a great time there. We got to celebrate a little bit of their birthday. And then yesterday we went to Tinseltown in the Philadelphia Expo where the Too Many Games thing was at. Great time. They had all that stuff up, the deer and all. It was all lights and everything. So that's what she loves. She loves Christmas. So we did that. Had an amazing apple cider and bourbon. Amazing. I don't know what type of bourbon they chose. I need to figure it out. But warm apple cider and bourbon, that might be my new thing this year. But it was amazing. So we got to do all that. So happy birthday to her. She had a grand old time. Unfortunately, your boy was still under the weather. So like I wasn't as, everything, but I tried to make the most of it and hang out with her for the rest of the day. We also watched 8-Bit Christmas, which was amazing on HBO Max. Please go give it a listen. Maybe me and Mike will talk about it. Some other time we'll give you guys a review, but Black Friday, bang. I skipped over that weekend, but Black Friday, there were some deals out. I went shopping for Ashley because she's quick with getting everyone gifts, so I got her some stuff. Like I said, she doesn't listen to this podcast, but she has a list. But she wanted a Sixers Allen Iverson jersey, and then she wants some diamond earrings. I said, "Tuh, you got a diamond on your hand. Put it up to your ear and make it an earring." She wants some shoes, which I said, bruh, you have this ring is expensive. That's your, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I got her a jersey. I got her a jersey. She wanted some Kim K stuff. And I think I got her one other thing, but just little things here and there that she wants because we don't usually go too big on Christmas these years because she usually likes to go on vacation, so we like to try and do that. Mike, did you get anything on Black Friday?
Uh, I don't think I did. Come to think of it, like I'm trying to use my brain and trying to remember. Usually I end up buying like clothes on Black Friday because usually there's lots of retailers out there that'll give you like a 40% or 50% in your at checkout and stuff like that. So I think I got some clothes. Oh, actually, no. The only thing I did get that was exciting for me at least was a brand new pair of slippers. I don't know, like for me, like my feet are always cold in my house. I really like LL Bean slippers. They last forever. And so I managed to secure a pair. I think originally they were retailing around like $100, but after like all the Black Friday stuff, I got them down to like $60. And I was like, it's a wrap. I'm getting these. They were back ordered, so I'm not gonna get them until like the 28th of December.
Sheesh.
But I figure 3 days shy of Christmas, I'll take it. But other than that, because most of my like Christmas shopping and stuff like that, I took care of early November, just because I wanted to make sure I was able to get stuff and wasn't going to be fighting anybody for any deals or the stock or whatever. So yeah, nothing too crazy on Black Friday itself.
Yeah, that's I think. Well, I got her a Dreamville shirt. That's what I got her. But maybe you should get some Crocs, Mike. I'm just saying, maybe I'll throw that out to you.
Crocs?
I have some Crocs. Them bad boys is comfy, and they have furry ones.
I have heard like amazing things about Crocs.
Boy,
I've worn Crocs. I've never owned a pair of Crocs, and it. Like for me, I've never thought of them because they tend to have the holes in them, right? I've never really thought of Crocs as something I would want to wear like in the wintertime. I've always thought that maybe I'd wear them like summertime. But like,
ones.
Yeah, I'll have to look. But I think I'm very happy with the like because I got like chukka boots type looking things.
Oh, okay.
And so like they kind of cover up the ankle a little bit more because my ankles get so cold in my office. But yeah, so as far as Black Friday went, that's where I was at.
Well, that's what I did these past 2 weeks, guys. Mike, what's going on in the mind of Mike, man? What's been happening?
Sure, yeah. I mean, outside all the things we did together, which is always fun to have things that bring us together to do something fun. I've for the longest time kind of just. Not that I've been against it. I just haven't really had like the opportunity or like the willpower. Kind of for no good reason, didn't get the vaccine. And recently, my current employer has been kind of like a little extra and a little over aggressive about it. Kind of talking about like not like kind of like removing certain like luxuries of being an employee if you weren't going to get your vaccination. And like I said, I had no really good reason not to get it. So I decided, I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna go get it, and I got it done actually on Black Friday. And so I went and got it done, and I was so nervous, right? Because we had Friendsgiving coming up on the Sunday. I was like, everyone tells me that when you get it, you're gonna get sick, you're gonna get beat down, and all that stuff. And for me, the only symptoms or situation that I dealt with was the evening I got it, right? So like late evening Friday, but then all day Saturday, I had like the most excruciating like lower back pain. And like it seemed like, because it almost felt like I had pulled my back out, like I had lifted something far too heavy, and that just wasn't the case. And I felt kind of dizzy and kind of out of it, like maybe a little drunk, I guess. And but other than but the back pain was like wild. Like I'm a 31-year-old man that was like borderline brought to tears about how much pain I was in. But everyone I spoke to who got the same kind of one I got was like, that's kind of par for the course. Like that, like the aches can be that bad. But you'll be all right. You'll get through. And sure enough, seriously, like come Saturday night, I felt 100%. It was almost like a 15-hour issue that just seemingly like disappeared on me without any kind of effort or needing to take anything or anything like that. So kind of just had to persevere through that. Had one or two whiskey sours to help me through all of that. But then Sunday came around and we hit Friendsgiving, and I felt like 100%, and I felt great ever since. So, um, my wife asked me, she's like, would you recommend, getting the one you got? And I was like, well, it was a lot of, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a lot of pain. But overall, I think yes, I definitely would recommend it. And these days, folks, I mean, like, sadly, I don't think COVID's going anywhere. And like eventually, specifically, like if you're up in New York City, like you can't go in any restaurants unless you show your like card and stuff like that. It's a little scary, to be honest. Like I'm a little worried about what's going to happen with all of that. But regardless, it's done, it's over. Until we have to visit that road again. But outside of that whole experience, and outside of the Friendsgiving stuff we did, yesterday, actually, for the second time since my hiatus, I chose to just hop on to my Twitch channel and stream. And now I like, for a while ago, before we even like really did this podcast, I was streaming pretty heavily, and I have a pretty strong community that likes to come and hang out and support my show. But what I've discovered is, like, I don't think streaming like as a full-time business or job is kind of something I'm cut out for. Just but I really like doing it. I love being an entertainer. I love being on a stage, more or less, thinking back to my touring and musician days. And so I just decided that I wanted to play because one of my favorite games, Dead by Daylight, had some DLC that we'll talk about later in the show. And I just wanted to get on and just do it and see what would happen, see who would show up. And boy, howdy, did they show up. I was only live for about 2 hours, but I think we maxed at, like, I don't know, it was like 23 viewers. We averaged around like 11 over the 2 hours. Got like a whole handful of new subscribers, paid subscribers on the channel. And it was just really heartwarming to know that there are an audience of individuals that still really enjoy my streaming content. Still really enjoy coming to hang out. And you know who you are. A lot of you are out over in the UK. Every single one of you, whether you're in the UK or the United States, or if you're a new listener listening to us, it just means a lot. It means a lot that you guys decided to show up, because I just kind of put out a tweet on Twitter to say, hey, going live, this is not a drill. And, as if I never had a hiatus, all of you beautiful individuals and some very new faces decided to show up, and we had a really great time together. But that being said, I know that me and David have been talking about streaming in general. We've been trying to figure out kind of what we want to do. And as far as I'm concerned with my schedule, I'm definitely, for now, I'm going to stay with Twitch. I know there's a lot of current momentum moving over to YouTube right now. But I think I'm going to stay with Twitch because I don't think I want to become partnered, but I think I definitely love the platform as a place to gather and hang out with individuals. But how about you, David?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole whirlwind of stuff coming, but like Mike said, thank you guys for coming out to his Twitch stream and hanging out and seeing everything. Another thing is, if you guys have gone into there and then you're coming to here, we greatly appreciate that too, because with us streaming and doing other things outside of the podcast, we try and push the podcast so you guys come in here and you still get the same interaction you would on the stream. So we just really appreciate you guys. And if you want, spread the word, let people know they have a podcast. You always just don't have to wait for them to stream. Come on in, ask us questions. We have social media and everything else like that. But yeah, I was talking to Mike about it. I've always been, when I first started out, like Mike helped me out a lot. He was showing me a lot through streaming and how you should be and the way you should carry yourself. And I kind of took that and ran with it. But I streamed on both. I had Twitch and Facebook, and I want to say I got the same amount of followers quickly on both. I have a lot of friends and family on Facebook. A lot of people enjoyed my content on Facebook. And then I had Twitch, but it seemed like it was more of a teeth-pulling procedure because you have to make people download it or make the account or everything else like that. Mike's community welcomed me in with open arms. They came in and watched me. And they did a whole bunch of things for me and shared me and hosted me and everything. But I was like, this isn't really like my community. This isn't like my thing yet. But I said I had a lot of people on Facebook, but I left that only because I became affiliated on Twitch. And I was like, oh, I can get my payout and everything. So I kind of just left Facebook in the dust. And looking back on it, I probably maybe should have stuck with Facebook. I think there probably was a market there for me. A lot of people came in, had a lot of viewers. I went back and looked at a lot of my statistics. They match the same as Twitch, but higher interaction on Facebook. So I think I might be switching back to it, or I might be going back and forth. Me and Mike have talked about streaming on the Humble Threads podcast YouTube, maybe for like a joint thing, if there's like a party games that we play or anything else like that. I think there's an avenue for everything, but who knows? I might be staying on Twitch, but I might be doing Facebook. I'll let y'all know. But me and Mike have had big conversations about that. But Mike, man,
Yeah,
people
dude.
people showed out for you, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it was incredible. I think overall, although I think the highest view count I had at one given time was 23. It's looking at my analytics, I had up to 40 unique new viewers, and in overall I had 76 returning, included, which was that returning and new viewers coming in and out of the stream, which is just incredible. Like for someone who hasn't been live very often over the last year, really. But for those of you who are interested about when I might be streaming again, I'm thinking I'm going to try to do at least once a month, if not twice. I'm not going to stick to a certain day. I'm just going to kind of drop it on you guys when I feel like it. And it'll just be a great time to just, jump on in, say what's up, catch up, and it'll be a really, really awesome opportunity to get some FaceTime with all of you.
Yes, sir.
But moving on, me and David have been talking about, what can we do specifically when we want to deep dive stronger topics, or when we want to, what can we do more of in like our off weeks? Because as you know, we're a bi-weekly podcast. And one thing that we've really been thinking about doing is, for example, there's the new Spider-Man movie coming out, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And we want to be able to provide like a whole episode of in-depth content for that kind of material. Whereas we can still have this show on our regular schedule, but in the off weeks, we can then produce content that is a lot more specific on one topic. So starting next week, right now the working title is Humble Threads B-Sides. We're going to do a full-on interview and chat with William Guy, who is the owner of Throwing Sideways, who is my yo-yo sponsor. He recently today released a brand new bimetal yo-yo called the Parthenon. It's available at throwingsideways.com. If you're at all interested in just going to see what that looks like, or if you want to support the company and the team and William, go over there and check it out. We have at least 3 different colors and options in that specific yo-yo that is currently on sale. But like I said, we will be diving into a full interview with him next week. We hope to release that on, I believe, next Friday. But with that being said, gang, thank you so much for sticking with us as we chatted about our lives and things we got going on. We're going to hit our first ad break, and we'll be right back with our main topics.
Hello and happy holidays, Humble family. This is Mike, and I'm here to give thanks and tell you a little bit about our sponsor, Anchor by Spotify. It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us through that ad break. We're going to jump into some main topics now. Recently, as you may have noticed, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, the brand new Hawkeye show is available. David, talk to us.
Yeah, guys. As you know, we touch on the shows here and there, usually in the middle of the shows and then at the end of the shows. We don't do like weekly recaps because there's a lot of stuff out there. Who knows what's going to happen? We might say one thing and then there it'll be. But there's 6 episodes total. I believe we are 3 in right now. So it's getting pretty good. A little synopsis on the show, if you guys didn't know, it kind of takes place in New York. It has to deal with Hawkeye, which is Clint, and Kate Bishop, which Kate Bishop's just this. It's kind of very simple as it is. She's just a fan of the Avengers. What pretty much happens is her house kind of gets attacked during the Battle of New York. And she just sees Hawkeye shooting arrows and everything, and it inspires her to become an archer and everything else like that. And they kind of do a montage of that. So pretty much that being it. That's about pretty much of the show. But I don't want to dive too deep in and spoil it with you guys. But pretty much she gets herself in trouble, and Clint kind of hangs back and helps her out. And wants to clear her name per se in certain things, but there's a lot of different jabs and little Easter eggs here and there. That's why it's kind of hard for me to talk about, especially because there's a lot that could happen. We might have Kingpin in it. There's a little teaser for that. I have no idea, but little teaser of Vincent, and he's been teasing us on social media, so we'll see a lot of Daredevil Easter eggs are in there. And just a lot of Young Avengers Easter eggs in there. But I want to say the cinematography is amazing. I'll tell you one thing, and I say it every time, Marvel makes me care about these shows, even though I'm like, who wants to watch a Hawkeye show? But other than that, the actors are amazing. The show's amazing. It's not going to end before Spider-Man. I think the last episode is either going to be after the week of Spider-Man or on that week. But it kind of gets us ready for Spider-Man and everything else like that. That's why I kind of like these shows when they come out. They usually come out around the time when movies are coming out. So it kind of leads you up into that big, extravagant Marvel movie cinematic area that you get to experience when you go to the movies. But a great show. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I believe her name is Haley Steinfeld, I believe is her name. She's amazing as Kate Bishop. And of course, the guy who plays Clint,
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, he's amazing, especially as like an older Hawkeye. You've watching him from the first Avengers movie up to like now, just seeing how like the battles and the fights have taken a toll on his body. Definitely show through there, and it gives you a sense of like progression with the character. I love the show. It's witty, it's hilarious, great content in it. Check it out. It comes out on Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, I believe they said 3 p.m. is when it releases, but 3 episodes out now. Give it a watch. Whew, Mike, are you excited to watch the show at all? If you're gonna give it a watch.
With Hawkeye, yeah. So I haven't seen it. Like kind of like you joked about, like in my opinion, it's like who wants to watch that? I mean, I get it. Hawkeye was a very valuable member of the Avengers, specifically, in all the movies and everything like that. One thing I will say is I love seeing what Disney Plus is doing with a lot of like the supporting kind of like characters that were a part of that whole saga. Like, seeing what they did with Wanda Vision, seeing what they did with Loki, Black Widow, and now Hawkeye, and then Winter Soldier and all of that. It's really awesome that those characters are getting more screen time, and I love that they didn't pick different actors. Like and you know what I mean? They like, it would be so easy to do this so much cheaper with just different actors that just make up some reason why they're different. But they're sticking with the original cast, and doing these episodic side stories essentially, like to help build out the universe a little bit more. And I really love seeing it. Am I going to watch Hawkeye? I'm not so certain just yet. It might be the kind of thing that almost I will allow to be spoiled for me, and then once the whole show is out, I'll just go back and binge watch it. Because watching I think I said this before when we were talking about WandaVision, like the episodic style of watching a show kind of drives me nuts. Because I'm so used to like I hate feeling spoiled in this way. Like, I'm so used to watching the shows I want to watch on Netflix or whatever, where the whole season or multiple seasons are available, and you fall in love with a show and you can just watch and watch and watch and get your fill. Whereas the way they're bringing it out, like with the episodic, yes, it kind of makes people, it keeps it on the buzzwords. It keeps people talking about the shows, but it drives me nuts because I will watch it because I have no doubt it's a good show, no doubt. It wouldn't be, it would not have gotten greenlit if it wasn't going to be a good show. And so for something like that where I'm not 100% invested in the character, if I'm gonna go back and watch it, I'm gonna want to watch it like the whole thing in a weekend type of deal. So yeah, for now it's a pass for me, but maybe in the future I'll dive in.
Yeah, Mike. If you hear me say, if you see a text from me saying, "Mike, they did the thing," that means you might have to start catching up because I don't know. I'm trying. Listen, if they bring Kingpin in here, it's gonna change the whole because they're changing up the whole Marvel universe.
I will say that like I love the storyline with Daredevil. I thought that the Netflix original series Daredevil was really good. I thought the Kingpin that obviously made his debut in that show was an incredible casting for it. I think he just really rocks it. So if they are going to start blending those universes together, that might be my ticket. You know, if Daredevil it becomes like a supporting character in the Hawkeye series, you might win me there. I don't know, but we'll have to see.
Like here's the rumors, guys. I guess we'll get into the rumor mill because this is a topic I really wanted to talk on. Because Hawkeye, the reason why it's going to be a good show is because it's mending a lot of these street level heroes if they go this way and if they pull it off. We know Marvel is good for saying, "Hey, Mephisto," but it's not really Mephisto or whatever. Depending on, trying to get your eye to look at one thing and, it's literally been obvious in front of your face what's going on the whole time. But the rumor is, which if you guys don't know a lot of comic book knowledge, Kingpin has an adopted daughter named Echo. She is deaf, and that kind of ties into the show, especially for a simple fact that Daredevil's blind, and they kind of fight each other here and there in the comics. But she's getting her own show. The rumor is Daredevil's supposed to pop up in that show. Kingpin's supposed to pop up in that show, and they're going to use that avenue to bring in like those type of Netflix show characters, and kind of continue their storylines and flesh out those characters. Once again, I don't know why I need a TV show about Echo, but like I said, they keep doing an amazing job. If Daredevil's in it, we'll see. And we keep seeing these spoilers and these screen grabs of Matt Murdock with Spider-Man in the Spider-Man movie. There's so many screenshots where you're like, that could be photoshopped, but that looks a little too real to be photoshopped. So, once we get to Spider-Man movie, once we get to the end of this Hawkeye show, we might have a new more found excitement for these shows because I do love Daredevil and I did love that show, especially the storylines and everything. So they continue that. Whew.
Yeah, absolutely. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here to not only talk about the debacle, but we are here to declare that we have secured the bag.
Yes, sir.
David, probably not feeling so great the day after, the night of Friendsgiving, I believe it was, stayed up super late to set his alarm to be there at the moment to click the right buttons faster than half of the world. We have tickets to Spider-Man No Way Home. For premiere night, I think it was like one of the first showings. Mm-hmm. It's early. I think we're going to 6:30 IMAX showing. Yep. But gang, it's like these tickets are going for like $1,000 on eBay. We've already said we're not selling. We got to go see the movie. We got to bring it to you. We got to talk about it. But it's just crazy. David, you were there. You bought the tickets.
Man,
talk about the experience. Man.
Yo, I mean, even after Thanksgiving, my nose was getting a little stuffy, and I could tell it was from me. I slept over at my brother's house. They had the heat blasting when I was sleeping there. I knew it was getting to me, so I was already feeling a little under the weather. I said, you know what, this is gonna be cake. So I was on Discord with our friend Billy and Kevin. I was like, you know what? Let me just hop on Fandango. I'm going to hop on the Fandango app. They said it'll be out at 12:01. I'm on there. I'm sitting there waiting. 12:01 hits. Bang. All right, I'm in there. Originally, we were going to go to KOP, for King of Prussia, for you guys who are not from the area, and go to the 11 o'clock showing. I go in, 11 o'clock showing, grab 4 seats. Right when I go to check out, the screen goes white. And I go, Billy, Kev, you might need to get on your computer right now, if not already, and go to a ticket website of choice. And they're like, wow, I was like, because I don't know if we're going to get these tickets if you guys don't hop on. So they hopped on. Billy was at Movie Tavern website to try and get the tickets. Kev was in KOP still. I was in Downingtown because honestly, all the websites were crashing. We couldn't get through. We would get to the end of the line. Like, it would have the seat numbers and everything. It would have the cost. Everything was there. And there was no buy button because the website was so crashed and they didn't want to sell the tickets so quickly because they didn't know if other people had the tickets. It took forever. So in hindsight, it took us an hour and 20 minutes to get them. There's also a YouTuber that I watch. He had a live stream of them trying to get the tickets. They gave up and actually went to the movie theater, and they got tickets. They actually rented out the whole theater to him for a certain time slot. So he's just going to invite people to come in. But an hour and 20 minutes, it was getting a little bleak there. I said, man, Billy's looking for like the 18th, the 20th. I said, no, Billy, we got to stay here, man. We're getting these tickets. But I eventually got in there. I said, you know what, let's be calm. I got there, 6:30, Downingtown, IMAX. I said, all right, cool. Got 4 seats. They're sort of in the middle. I said, all right. Went to the checkout. It crashed. Refreshed it. Went to the checkout again. Crashed. Refreshed it. Went to the checkout. Finally was able to put my card in. It said, verifying your card. Then it said, bang. You have purchased Spider-Man No Way Home tickets. I said, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to you, Billy and Kevin. I will see you that night. I'm going to bed because at that point it was 1:20. It was ridiculous. Holy.
Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, I've heard like nonstop just like commentary about how so many movie theaters around the country just couldn't get on this. I think this one broke records. Like it's I think it's the highest grossing ticket sales of like as soon as it launched. I think possibly ever.
Mhm.
It beat out a lot of previous movies. I forget which one specifically it beat out heavy.
Avengers was the big one. I think Avengers it beat out that. I think.
Yeah. And but the fact that you can go onto eBay right now and go search the cost of these tickets that are just basically being scalped, right? Like they're just being people have bought them and realized that, and our buddy Billy, right? Like we love Billy to death, but he's always trying to find a way to make some cash, and he's smart with it most of the time. And he's made some good money, but he's like, yo, let's buy extra and then sell them. And David's like, no,
not on my card.
We're here for a specific reason. I want to see this movie. I don't need to deal with trying to sell these tickets on Amazon, on eBay. But either way, the bag is secured.
Yes, and via IGN and via Fandango in Deadline, Spider-Man No Way Home gets biggest ticket pre-sale since Endgame. So if you guys think about it, that's kind of big because we've been in a pandemic, and they've also said, like, we don't know if movies will ever do as great. Will the movie theaters still stick around? Will people still want to get tickets to movies and for the pre-sales, etc.? And first Shang-Chi kind of showed them that people still want to come in. But now Spider-Man really showed you that we're going to come no matter what. But it was amazing. I know Tom Holland has also been talking about he doesn't know if he'll be Spider-Man going forward, etc., etc. Sony came out and said they want to do another trilogy. So that kind of ruined some stuff because I was like, hey, me and Mike had a theory. I had a theory. What if, he dies and then Miles comes in? That kind of messes with it, but who knows? They might be pulling the wool over our eyes. The amount of speculation, I have no idea, guys. I don't know what's happening,
just knowing, I think it's like if any of you have seen the most recent Spider-Man trailer, like it is, or seen Tom Holland almost spoil it on that one clip. It is so obvious that there are, like, whether there's other Spider-Mans or there are other whoever's, it is obvious that there are at least 2 other friendlies in that final fight at the Statue of Liberty. And it's obvious it's going to be somebody. Now, I originally said it might be Miles Morales coming in, which would have like worked together with the theory that Tom Holland said, I think it's time for me to step down and let Miles Morales take over. And I thought that was maybe like a little side get about like maybe who we might see in this. Because I think at the end of the trailer, as we said, Doctor Strange says, there's more coming, or they're all coming through or something at this point. So I think honestly, the total cast of cameos possible at the end of Spider-Man is endless. I think we could even get Iron Man. I think Tony Stark might show up in his suit being like, I told you I wouldn't die. And like, come on back. And it'll be a touching moment, and then he's got to go back or something. Because obviously he died in that movie. But like, I think literally anything's possible.
Listen, y'all, Godzilla might show. I literally have no idea. The amount of Marvel has figured out the best way of marketing. Listen, guys, this is the last time we're going to talk about Spider-Man because I know it eats up a lot of the show. I get it, but y'all love it just as much as we do. But I think Marvel has figured out the marketing plan, and it shows how much money they can flaunt. They literally edit the trailers so differently that we don't know what's in the movie and what's not in the movie. Currently, someone even pointed out the fact that when Doctor Strange pulls the subway or the train around them, there's a city in the background. In another trailer in another region, it's a city and a desert. In another region, it's a desert. So they're just editing it to try and throw us off. But guys, if you haven't followed us on YouTube, please go over to Humble Threads YouTube. We will definitely be doing an in-depth. It might be on here too. I don't know. We'll definitely be going in. I don't know. Could be 3 hours.
Definitely, like, yeah. When we go see that movie, we're definitely gonna do like a Humble Threads B-sides where me and David just go ham. We just go right in,
whoever,
and we might have a guest on the show just to talk more about it.
Our friends,
but
I don't know.
But all right, gang, we got to get out of here. We got another ad break to give to you, and then we have another segment we're gonna burn through before we close the show up. But this one, this ad, obviously, it's about the T-shirt that we dropped, but I don't think what's currently not in this ad is we do have. David was awesome enough to put together a holiday collection for us. So obviously, we can't guarantee that they will ship in time for the holidays, depending on where you are in the world. But they are some awesome pieces to add to a collection if you're trying to, get in early to build your collection with the Humble Threads merch. It is there. But anyway, we'll let David do the talking. We'll talk to you in a minute.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It is David Graves from the Humble Threads podcast, one of your favorite co-hosts. I just wanted to take a second, guys, and tell you about the new merch and everything we have in our store. We've recently decided to make some merch because you guys got us to 500 listens. Crazy big milestone. I wanted to say thank you for you guys supporting us, and you can go to teespring.com and type in Humble Threads podcast and everything should be able to pop up. If we're able to get more sales, we will definitely buy a domain name and make it easier for you guys to find. We're just trying to feel everything out and see, if you guys are interested in merch and everything else like that. Everything's amazing. I bought a shirt, Mike bought a shirt. They're very comfortable, help support us. Not only are you buying something to support us, you're wearing it and giving people some insight on something new. They might see it and say, hey, what's that from? And you can say the Humble Threads podcast. Two guys just sitting down and talking about life and video games and more things. I wanted to take a second, shout that out for you guys. It's been David Graves. Thank you. Stay humble.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a few moments to go check out our new merch store over on Teespring. Lots of really great stuff over there. But for those of you who've existed in the gaming world, obviously you now know of what Warzone is, and you've heard of Verdansk, which is the current big map in Warzone. Well, guess what? If you love the map, if you hate the map, don't worry because it is going away. David, let's talk.
Yeah, guys, you know me, and we've had this conversation before. I flip-flop a lot between... It's a love-hate relationship, because they just reskin the game every year. They bring it out and everything else like that, but they did hit a market with Warzone. I really loved Warzone in the beginning, playing it with my friends, me, Kevin, all the other guys, and then we got hackers. Hackers very much ruined the game, and then it kind of took us off for a while. I played it a little bit now. I played a lot more now. I enjoy it now. Still some things I got to fix, but... we got the new map. With the new map, there's a lot of new features coming in that I'm very happy that they're bringing in. One, they're taking out stomping power rounds, which I think shouldn't have been in the game in the first place. If you've ever played, it's an extra clip that makes the bullets even stronger than they already are. So you can melt a whole squad if you wanted to by yourself, which I think is ridiculous. Work on your gunplay. They're nerfing dead silence is something you put on to make yourself not being able to, nobody can hear you pretty much. Footsteps, breathing, if you get shot, your person's wheezing or whatever else like that, they can't hear it. I'm glad they're nerfing this because when you're a solo and you're playing this game, everyone's running dead silence, and then you can't do anything. You're just going to die, go to the gulag, come back, somebody else has dead silence, they come up behind you, didn't know. So at least there'll be little indicators that means they're near you, which is good. And then, of course, they have the new anti-cheat software, Ricochet, which I'm kind of excited about. They will have dummies all throughout the map where if you have like hacks on or anything else like that, your hacks usually lock onto any person and shoot them and kill them, whatever. If it locks onto the dummies and it starts shooting the dummy for more than a couple minutes, they're going to review your account and ban you. That means everything. They're banning everything. There's no way you're going to be able to get a new account or any of that stuff without having to go through a difficult ordeal to do it, which I'm happy about. Start evening out the playing field and getting some new life into it. Other than that, I think that's about it as far as new features that come into that. Of course, we're getting a whole brand new map. Maybe we'll put it on our Instagram if you haven't seen it already. It's a little bit bigger than Verdansk. I forget. It's Caldera is what the name of this new map is. It looks more lush, more vibrant. A lot more things to do. Airfield in it. There's airplanes, like old World War II planes in there, so that's kind of cool. Reminiscent of when Fortnite did that, which was a very interesting time in Fortnite, but we'll see how that goes. Of course, Mike has some of the names down here for some of the places. I can touch on them a little bit. Naval Shipyard, that sounds very cool. Beach Defense, that might sound very interesting to try and do. The City Capital, I'm very interested in. It seems like a lot of buildings and places you can hide in and creep around. Airport, like I said, there will be airplanes. And a bunch of other places. Seems like they have a lot more places than Verdansk did, which is cool.
I'll jump in real quick. The one thing I did see, because I saw some pre-game play of it, obviously some streamers out there get some advanced gameplay. I saw that they not only is there a volcano on this island, because it's like a Pacific island kind of type experience, but there's also like underground like mines where that you can kind of like traverse and get through, and I think it's like it's going to create it's a whole different vibe, right? It's just a really interesting experience, and I'm just honestly someone who doesn't really play Warzone at all. I'm interested in checking it out, and I'll play it probably on my Xbox just to give it a try because I do like the way it looks for sure.
Yeah, and like Mike said, the volcano, they say a dormant, and they make it apparent to say dormant volcano. Seems like that
thing's it'll explode at some point.
Oh yeah, something's gonna happen with that, so that's even more cool. This is the most I've been excited about Call of Duty in a while. I was not excited about Vanguard. Modern Warfare was the last thing I was excited about. But I'm excited to play it. I'll be streaming it next week, probably either Wednesday and Thursday. So after we're done our podcast with Mike's friend and the Throwing Sideways people, I'll probably be hopping on. You can either catch me on Facebook or Twitch. We'll send out a tweet or something. But come on in. Maybe Mike will be there. Maybe Mike will join me on his Xbox. Who knows? But I'm excited about that. But with the new news of that, there's of course some new news about Destiny.
More new news about Destiny. I am a diehard Destiny fan. We actually had a bit of an argument in our gaming group chat today, and sadly, there's a lot of people out there that are very disenfranchised with the Destiny entire thing that is Destiny. But for me, I've been playing since day one, and I absolutely love it. And one thing that I'm very excited for is coming out on December 7th. It is the 30th anniversary of Bungie. Now, if you've been around 30 years and you are kind of moving into the elder millennial era, you can remember, the Halo era of Bungie, right? Because Bungie was what the original publishers and developers of Halo.
Yep.
So with this 30th anniversary of Bungie, Destiny 2 is going to celebrate all of those 30 years. And they're doing so by doing some really interesting things. They're going to be kicking off with a free-to-play, so you do not have to pay any money, with a 6-player match-made activity. In that activity, you'll be able to earn iconic weapons, armor, ornaments, emotes, sparrows, ghost shells, and more, including reimagined callbacks to the Bungie era of Halo. And there's been some recent snapshots taken of some gameplay, and we see some Arbiter weapons that are now in the mix. We see that the classic Halo BR is coming to Halo in a slightly reimagined way. They're bringing back the Gallahorn exotic rocket launcher for paying individuals. If you want to buy the bundle, I think it's $24.99. You'll immediately get the Gallahorn exotic rocket launcher. You'll get access to the brand new 3-player dungeon inspired by the famed Cosmodrome loot cave. And I'm just really excited that Bungie's finally crossing the streams and bringing a little bit of Halo into the Destiny world. Because it's where they began. Obviously Halo Infinite's out right now, the multiplayer that they didn't have it. I don't think they had anything to do with. Because Halo's now moved on to different developers and things like that. But it's really exciting to see them kind of bridging the gap and bringing some of it into Destiny. I don't know if David is interested in if this is going to be able to pull him in. I know he's a big Halo fan. What do you think about that, David? What do you think about bringing some Halo into Destiny?
I think it's great. I particularly enjoy Destiny. My issue with Destiny and just I guess my issue with myself is it's all about grinding, and I think that's also not to bring in this game that we always bring in, but I think that's also what happened with New World. Is the grind. So like I talked to my friend CJ as he's playing, and he's always like, yeah, I'm doing like 50 missions to get this one gun or to get this extra one light level, and I'm like, darn. If I was a famous streamer, I think I'd have someone play it for me to level me up so that way I could do the fun things like, the new dungeons and PvP arenas and certain things like that. But that sounds fun to me. I love Halo, so I definitely think that's a great thing. I always thought they should bring some more Halo stuff into it. Who knows? You might catch me on there. If I can level up quickly and fast without a lot of grinding for days at a time, then yeah, I might be on there. But
and guaranteed, like someone like yourself who has a guardian in Destiny 2 who maybe isn't at light level for the dungeons itself, you're still going to be able to play the free to play brand new 6-player matchmaking activity that will enable you to get some of these limited time rewards and gear. So it might still be worth it. It might still be worth it.
True, and I think I'll touch on one last thing. I think the issue is, I don't have people to play the PvP. Like, we used to grind Trials a lot. I know! Well, if you want to play Trials, we can play Trials. Me, CJ, Kevin, and Billy played Trials. We played it so much we were at the last level with the guy. We were about to, rank it up, and that was it. We couldn't do anymore. And they wouldn't play anymore. But I love Trials. I love those type of things. I'm not particularly invested in the stories and the stuff like that. That's where I'm at. But those type of things, I'll hop on.
Yeah, I love Trials. My wife loves Trials. We have a Trials team available. And for anyone who is interested, who's going to listen to this podcast tomorrow when it launches, this weekend, Trials they are bringing back for the second time ever solo queuing matchmaking for Trials. Because previously Trials, you had to have a squad, and if you didn't have a squad, you couldn't play. So if you've been someone out there who's maybe more of a solo player, or maybe your fire team has left you, but you really want to get back onto Trials and have a fair fight where there are no preset fire teams going into Trials, you can just load in as a match-made single player. This is the weekend to do it. So I'm looking forward to that myself. But moving along here to try to keep things timely, one more game I'd love to talk about. It's a game I love talking about, as you might know already. It's Dead by Daylight. Just dropped some brand new DLC called The Portrait of a Murder. It's available now. I think it's like $6.99, super cheap. It's a proprietary DLC, so they're not bringing in any licensed characters this time around. But it is a brand new killer called The Artist, who utilizes a distance-based ability to locate and expose survivors, kind of utilizes crows. She's very much like a human-ish crow type person. And we also have a brand new survivor who's a CIA operative named Jonah Vasquez, who is the second survivor to bring boon totem abilities into the game, enabling downed players to revive back into the game without the need of any assistance, as long as they are near one of these booned totems. So that's super awesome. Kind of changes a lot of things about the game. A little bit of the meta gets changed with that. And lastly, and specifically with this DLC, a brand new map has been entered into the game. It's called the Forsaken Boneyard, which is a dust-choked Chilean desert graveyard. It's a daytime map, so there's you can't hide in the shadows. You just have to traverse the area. I've seen a lot of gameplay. It looks good. And as always, Dead by Daylight loves the holidays, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, or whatever. The holiday event is coming in quick, starting December 9th through the 23rd. It'll be called Bone Chill, and they'll be placing snowmen specifically around maps, and it'll allow survivors to hide inside the snowmen to try to avoid the killers. But I'm certain the killers will have the opportunity to try to smash these snowmen. If you get caught inside one, I bet you're taking damage. And on top of all of that, most years they've had like codes that you can enter in to get charms, gear, or ornaments, or even blood points and stuff like that. But this year they did something a little bit different. And every single day during the month of December, you get daily login rewards that can be blood points, it can be shards, charms, so much more. Highly recommend it. If you are more of a casual player, maybe you just want to start leveling up more of your characters, and you maybe don't want to play that many matches, just log in every single day and you're going to get a lump sum of something awesome to help you move along your blood webs. But that's it for the Games Corner today. We have one more quick break just to talk about our socials, and we'll be right back.
Hey guys, once again, it is David checking in here, one of the co-hosts from the Humble Threads podcast. I also wanted to take a second and just shout out our socials. If you have any questions, ideas, topics, food that you like, your favorite superhero, whatever it is, please hit us up on our social medias. Our Instagram is Humble Thread Podcast. Our Twitter is Humble Threads Pod. We also have a YouTube channel that's the Humble Threads Podcast. Feel free, come on over, check out our socials. We'll definitely be in contact with you guys. We love the feedback, and we definitely want to have more of an interaction with you guys going forward. So come on in. Once again, you can find us on Instagram at Humble Threads Podcast, Twitter Humble Threads Pod, and YouTube Humble Threads Podcast. Thank you guys. Catch you back in the break.
Welcome back, everybody. It is that time of the show. I really actually like this part of the show where we kind of give a quick rundown of everything we talked about in the show. It's just a great little moment here. So first and foremost, of course, we talked about the proposal, the engagement of David and Ashley. The party was awesome. Thanksgiving was just around the corner from that. Black Friday, Friendsgiving. We talked a little bit about David's girlfriend fiance now, Ashley's birthday. They went over to got some dinner, went to Tinseltown together. We bought some things on Black Friday. I talked a little bit about my experience getting my vaccine, me jumping into streaming, and thank you to everybody who dropped by the stream and showed a lot of support. Really means a lot. We also announced that we'll be doing a Humble Threads B-Sides. Maybe not every off week, but we're going to try to start cranking out some more content for you. So starting next week, we're going to be doing a quick interview with the owner of the my yo-yo sponsor. The company's called Throwing Sideways, and that'll be with William Guy, so look out for that next week. We jumped directly into our main topics where we talked about the brand new Disney Plus show for Hawkeye. We talked about the debacle about trying to get these Spider-Man tickets. Don't worry, gang. We secured the bag. We will be here as soon as we've watched it to tell you about it, maybe in one of those B-sides. Directly after that, we hit the Games Corner. Warzone, brand new map coming out on December 9th. Are you going to play it? We're probably going to play it. I might even play it. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe I can get on stream with David while he's playing. Mm-hmm. And of course, more in the Games Corner, Destiny 2, the Bungie 30th anniversary bundle that's coming out, the events that are coming out, they are kind of mixing in some Halo. Super awesome to see that. Dead by Daylight, brand new DLC, Portrait of a Murder available now. New killer, new survivor, new map. The holiday season is here in the game, and they are releasing daily rewards. So hey, if you're a casual player, just log in and just grab what's free.
And
But that kind of does it for our review, our wrap up and review of today's episode. David.
And that being said, guys, we always say we appreciate you a lot. We don't ask a lot from you guys. You know, we're not trying to have you out here, you know, on our social medias doing hard work for us and everything. But if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a rating on your podcast platform of your choice. And consider sharing it with a friend or your family member. It could be your aunt, your grandma, your 4-year-old, whoever it's going to be. Please share it. It really helps us reach new listeners. And we know that you guys are out there. We see the numbers. It's just as easy as scrolling down, hitting that 5-star. It would be amazing to see that, and definitely see how we reached out to you guys, especially after this year. We've seen the numbers grow. We definitely appreciate you guys. Once again, I am David Graves. I'm going to do something a little differently. If you look on Facebook, it should be Kinggravesgaming, YouTube Kinggravesgaming, Twitch Kinggravesgaming. Come on over, slap a like. If you prefer Facebook, I might be on there more, and you can come, watch me and have some fun with me and Mike. Mike, where can the people find you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me in most places at KingpinCaribou, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. If you're interested in what I got going on with my yo-yos, hit me up on Instagram at mikehart.yoyo. As always, everybody, it is such a pleasure to hang out with you here. But please, it's the holiday season, everybody. Stay humble.